right now is calling the police as we're touring this community. And you guys, that's the type of stuff you deal with when working with, very aggressive, very belittling. And you guys, the thing is, y'all,
so in love with you. You got me down again.
welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers, and today is our first video of our special Texas road trip. We're going to review communities in San Antonio and in Austin, and right now I'm actually in San Antonio. And what we're going to do before we really dig into this video is we're going to talk about the data so that when I'm talking to you guys about this community, you're not going to be flying blind. We're going to be able to tell whether or not this community right here that I'm standing on is offering fire sale liquidation prices. Now here's the thing, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a treat and a little bit of a clue. Now, I've already done immense research on this community, and this is what I'm saying, y'all. The price cuts right now, some of them are 25% off. So this new community right here, y'all, is experiencing massive liquidation sales. And I'm not talking about 25% from their original listing price. These homes are 25% off from 2022 average value. So massive gutting going on in this community right now. And you guys can see to the left, there's a whole bunch of building going on, obviously. Y'all will see additional building going on to my right. So in other words, you're gonna absolutely love this video, and we'll use the data to uncover distressed new home builders, and we'll figure out what community the liquidation is actually happening in. And do me a favor, you guys, for all of this effort, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and shoot me a comment below. Let me know whether or not you want me to continue doing these boots on the ground videos. So the name of this community is actually Southton Meadows. Now the price point here is anywhere from $141,000 to $360,000. And they actually have tiny houses here, about 300 square feet. It's a horrible deal, on up to about 2,000 square feet. But right now what I'm doing is I'm actually walking down a road where there is an enormous amount of construction. One of the reasons I took you guys to the Southton new development community is because the massive price cuts that I'm finding on MLS and I'm finding on Lennar's website. And just so you guys know, yes, I do have MLS access to San Antonio and Austin now, so I'm really looking forward to giving you guys a much more in-depth video. Now let me pan here, and then I'm gonna go into the map. You guys can kind of see, some of the construction going on here. So in other words, there is a bunch of construction going on right now, and these houses are still relatively affordable. Now let me pull up the map. So starting downtown San Antonio, we're going to take this highway right here, the 37 South, all the way down here. We're going to pass the 410, and we're going to get to an area right around here. Now this is Southton Meadows. This is where Southton Meadows is at. So now enjoy the person that is about to harass and bully me. That's the part of the video that's next. We're just gonna do the best we can to give you guys kind of an idea of what's going on around here and stuff like that. So definitely appreciate you guys. Is this a public street?
Yes.
You're saying, so this is public?
Filming my construction is what I'm saying.
From a public street, right?
I've not given
Texas this is a
consent state, and
right.
I do not give consent for me to be on camera. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome, but this is public, right?
I do not give permission for myself to be.
But I'm just wondering, is this public street? Oh, okay, so right now is calling the police as we're touring this community, and you guys, that's the type of stuff you deal with when working with, very aggressive, very belittling. And you guys, the thing is, y'all, we're just trying to highlight this, and we got, and this is what we deal with all the time, as you guys can see. Anyways, you guys, so that's pretty crazy. So the rep at came out, started yelling at us, and threatened to call the police. So Other than that, this community has been, pretty okay so far. Before I really dig in and we start going over the data and how to find a great deal and how to know if it's a great deal, let me first tell you about the active incentives that Lennar has right now, because it's absolutely unbelievable. So as you can see here on the screen, Lennar is currently offering a 4.25% fixed interest rate. And on top of that, $30,000 off the prices, you guys. So everything we're about to talk about, remember, I'm not even gonna put the $30,000 off on top of what we're talking about. So add another 10 to 15% off both listing price and off of 2022 average. So you guys can see, again, I'm walking down an area with massive, massive amounts of construction. You can see that there's so much construction going on in South 10 right now. Now again, guys, remember, we don't know what a good deal is until we have a market analysis of this master plan community. So let me throw that up for you guys right now. And as I'm talking, I'm actually walking down a street right now where both sides of the street are full of completed houses. But let me throw this data up right now because we cannot allow ourselves to fly blind. So as you guys can see right now, this is a market analysis for the South 10 community. It does show in 2022 that there were a total of 67 properties sold. But here's what's really, really important, and this is what I want you guys to remember throughout this video. The average price per square foot in 2022 was $181 a square foot, and some change, but basically $181 a square foot. So remember that, because the next thing we're gonna go over now is the price cut, and we're gonna figure out just how great and really actually kind of shocking these price cuts actually are. So it is an average of $181 a square foot, and I'm actually, again, walking down another section of this master plan community where there is massive amounts of construction. And you should know that there are so many different options of homes, again, from 100,000 on up to about 400,000, 300 square feet, and we'll get you guys a picture of that 300 square feet house here in a minute, because it looks like a shed. And they're charging over $300 a square foot for those little tiny baby houses. So you really got to pay attention to price per square foot. But let me put some data up on here so you guys know what's exactly is going on in this community. So first thing is we see that right now there's a total of 96 active listings or available homes. So they have 96 spec homes right now without buyers. And obviously they're not set up to hold the property, and with all the quantitative tightening, things are only going to get much more difficult for them not to liquidate even more. Now, of those listings, there's actually 32 active listings right now that are under 2022 averages of $181 a square foot. So that is a tremendous amount of inventory, which totals roughly 33%. So again, 33% of the spec homes or available homes in this community right now are selling for under 2022 average price per square foot. And y'all have to respect how bad that is for the current owners, which means any of the 67 people that purchased in 2022 basically are gonna get a 25% haircut, which probably is gonna feel like overnight to them. So really, really crazy stuff here. I'm super glad that personally, I didn't purchase at the peak around June of 2022. Now let's go over some really tasty price cuts now that we understand that the average price per square foot was $181. So we're gonna start this right now, but let me kind of pan and show you where I'm walking. Pretty much everywhere I can see is available housing. Let me pan. Y'all see behind me, see all those houses there? Those are newly completed. Over here as well. Y'all could see a little bit of, the street I'm walking down. Multiple streets down that way as well. So tremendous amount of building going on right now. But even with these massive price cuts, I'm gonna question the quality of construction, not just because of the reviews, but also because of the sales rep at Lennar basically saying what he did, and not only him saying that, him getting aggressive with us. So really, really astonishing. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna throw up active live MLS data so that y'all can see that these houses with these massive price cuts are legit and active. So let's start with number one. So here's the first house, y'all. Now this is a price cut down to $203,999. Now that square footage is 1,244 square feet. Now that represents a $58,000 price cut, or rather 22% price cut from the listing. But let's figure out how much is the price cut when we compare to 2022 average price per square foot. So the average price per square foot on this house is actually $163. Now that represents a 9.5% deduction under 2022 value. So here's the thing, remember, the price cuts that I'm gonna go over right now, that doesn't include the $30,000, so add 10%. Now looking at the second property on MLS, you can see that it was originally listed at $271. It was cut down to $221,000. Now that represents a $50,000 price cut, you guys, or 18.38% off of the listing price. Now, when we compare it to 2022, we can see that the average price per square foot was only $154 a square foot. And you guys, that represents, without the $30,000 off, without the 4 1/4, that represents 14.9% under 2022 average price per square foot. That is a massive, massive amount. So again, there's no question right now, this community, at least in my opinion, and based on the data, they appear distressed. And again, not only distressed, look at all of the houses that are available. Normally they phase out. Let me throw up one more active listing. Now, as you guys can see, this property was cut down $52,000 for only 184 grand. So we are dropping our sales point. Now that represents a 21.9% reduction from the listing price, massive reduction. Now, if we average it out price per square foot, the price per square foot was $148 a square foot. And what that means is that's almost an 18% reduction when comparing to 2022 value. So add $30,000 on top of that, that means that that property I just showed you is over 25% under 2022 value. So the first thing that I realized when I noticed that some of the houses are being priced for over 25% under 2022 is, can it cash flow? So I'm gonna show you guys kind of, what houses in this neighborhood can rent out for, because, when all is said and done, if you add the $30,000 on top of the last house we went on, basically what it's gonna mean is you're gonna spend about $150,000 to $160,000 and have rent of about $1,400 to $1,500. So in other words, when we pencil things out in this community, it can kind of actually start to work, but I'm not saying do it right now, but I'm saying it's very refreshing to see that things are starting to pencil out. And just to give you guys the data, let me throw up the rental data on the screen right now. Now this is only for Southton Meadows. And as you can see, in 2022, there were actually 33 homes that were rented. Now the average price per square foot for the rentals was $109 a square foot. So when we pencil that out, to spend about $150,000, $160,000 to cash flow $1,500 to $1,600, again, to some people that actually makes sense. And I'm actually walking down a street right here. I took you guys to the part of this community that has like ridiculously small houses. I mean, some of the houses here, y'all, you guys can see in the background, 300 square feet. And people will purchase these houses because they're in a $100,000 price point, think they got a great deal. But when you look at the price per square foot, it's actually over $300 a square foot for some of these houses. And let me pan just so you guys can see how small these houses. Look how small this is. Look at that. Unbelievable. Y'all thought Southern California was bad. Phew, look at San Antonio. San Antonio, I mean, my understanding, just from looking at it, let me show you the other side of the street. I think what they're doing is just trying to provide more affordable housing. But again, if you just blindly think this is affordable housing without having the data, you're in for a rude awakening, because, most of the small houses are a lot more, like double almost, the average value of 2022. So the smaller the house, generally the higher the prices per square foot. But overall, I really can't put into words. I am so blessed to be able to do this for you guys. I really hope you guys like this. I don't prefer getting in arguments with sales reps and having the cops and sheriff called on me. I would rather just do this peacefully and really just get to the bottom of everything. But it is what it is. Let me show you kind of this last little part right here, and then I'll do our final scene, talk about the pitfalls of new construction and things of that nature. But I mean, there's no question, you guys, and I provided you guys proof, active MLS, showing you guys this inventory is available. So, I don't see how anyone could second guess what I'm actually saying. Dude, this is priced right.
Yeah.
So I'm telling my viewers, I'm like, man, finally a community where it's actually priced like really affordable, So let's talk about a few pitfalls when it comes to purchasing new construction. Now, obviously the first one is quality of construction. And I say that not because I've purchased a Lennar or any new build recently anyways, other than Anglia myself. I'm saying that because of the hundreds, if not thousands of recent reviews from current homeowners that are basically reporting issues with the quality of construction for various new home builders. So again, pitfall number one, make sure you do a home inspection, a proper home inspection. Now, second pitfall when purchasing new construction is generally it's more expensive. The taxes are more expensive. One of the only things that is not more expensive is generally the homeowner's insurance, but that's not really offset by the normally unusually high property taxes with new developments. Now the third thing is, and you guys have probably witnessed that in this video, is a lot of times it's very, at least in my opinion, and I've been doing this for 21 years, it's very, very, very unpleasant working with new home builders. So definitely understand that, because you're gonna wanna get someone to represent you. Now, overall, y'all, in conclusion, when I look at a neighborhood like this, you know, this gets me extremely, extremely excited to have houses listed for over 25% under 2022 value when we add the $30,000. Y'all, that's a very, very big deal. So this really, really excites me. But obviously the customer service and what I just had to deal with, completely unacceptable, you guys, and I was very respectful. But overall, my conclusion is neighborhoods just like this should motivate you if you're on the sidelines waiting for a deal of your lifetime. And while we're on the sidelines, don't ever forget, don't get lazy, increase your purchasing power, increase your credit, your income, your assets, and your overall understanding about the housing market. And really what I want you guys to end with on this video is understanding how important it is to use the data to find the deal. So again, use the data to find the deals. And other than that, guys, I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, don't forget. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.